Most of us think that when we get something, we'll be happy. But true happiness is when you give. The very purpose of life is to share the goodness with everybody around. And that's what Sangachatam means. Let's walk together. Recently, one of my silence course teacher colleagues, they asked me, can you give us some sort of a pointers as to an intro talk to a silence course? Because we all know how to give an intro talk to a happiness program. And we just tell people do silence program. And people have started asking why, what is it? What should we get? Things like that. And not many people not spoken about it. Now, when I did my silence program, I did not ask why I should do it. The impact of my basic course, or what we now call the happiness program, was so intense, was so different, was so unexpected. And combine that with the association, the physical presence of Gurudev in those times. And it was so easy to be in his physical presence, to talk to him, to say hello to him, to just sit 2 feet in front of him. And then you saw something unique. I mean, if you have seen Gurudev, you will know close enough that we have seen him. When he walks, he glides, you know. It doesn't look like his feet is touching the ground, it's just like he floats. These were all very new for us. I was a teenager. This was something very unique. Somebody who's with has got such tremendous presence, so much aura, and such uplifting capability just by being there. There was so much that was happening in his presence at those times, and his presence, physical presence, was so easily available to us that I had no question to ask. I wanted to grab everything that person was giving. I wanted to know what next. At that time, there were not this many courses. It was basically there is the happiness program, the advanced program, and Sahaj. Only three things were at that time. Even Sahaj became a bigger thing later on. Only these two things. Sudarshan Kriya, all on empty. This was the crux backbone of it. So I didn't understand what silence was, nor did I understand what is this hollow and empty meditation at those times. So when I did my first program, I think during the meditation I was just distracted. There were mosquitoes, there were house flies coming and sitting on your nose when you were meditating. It was very hot in the ashram in the hall where we were doing the course. There were no fans. It was not very comfortable at all. So there was lot of distractions there. Uh, but the silence was good in the sense it was a 5 day course and I didn't speak for 5 days. That was the first time in my life, as far as I can remember. And then the meditation, I just went through the motions. I mean, we had the faith that Gurudev is giving something good, though I did not understand it, though it was quite distracting. I was not able to settle down into any of those meditations. I noticed that once Gurudev asked to come out of silence, I could not speak. I could not speak in the sense that the silence had settled down so deeply that sound was not coming out of me. And if I had to speak up a little bit more, I would feel short of breath or feel tired to speak loudly. I almost was whispering for a couple of days. And slowly it all came down, but that first few days could feel that impact was so deep. And then I went back and back and back. It just became sort of a addiction. A lot of people you will see it, tell this term that I'm addicted to silence program. It's a great addiction. If at all you want to be addicted to something, get addicted to the silence courses. Uh, they just do something tremendously powerful and wonderful to you. Now, over the years, doing the programs, uh, reflecting upon my experiences, listening to Gurudev's knowledge, reading the scriptures, seeing all the what the Upanishads are saying, bringing them all these things together, I seem to have some idea of what is. Gurudev has not spoken about it anywhere, but I feel that I've got some idea about it. I may be wrong, but I think the dots I'm able to connect down a lot more clearly. So, the first thing is what is silence? Yeah. So, Gurudev has said in one of the talks, that silence is bringing the scattered mind to one point. The mind is compared to a monkey. Monkeys are restless. The restless guna in us is called rajas. That's the nature of mind, activity, agitation. It keeps jumping from one thing to another. It's never satisfied, never content. Always lives in the past or in the future. Now, this mind, this scattered mind, skillfully you have to bring it to this moment. To this moment. The mind which is in the past or the future, bringing it into this moment is that skill. The moment you bring into this moment, it becomes quiet. And then you experience the stillness of your being. That is silence. This is one way of looking at it. Another definition is silence is the experience that happens to you when you don't engage with your mind. Now, usually we act very impulsively, which means unconsciously. The strongest impulse in our mind will trigger an action or a response from us, and this is unconsciously happening. Suddenly feel like talking, you start talking. You suddenly feel like I need to take my phone, you take your phone and start looking at things or doing reels or whatever, seeing reels or whatever. You feel like eating, suddenly you go to the kitchen to pick something. So a lot of things are happening. The mind is pushing you, or just obeying it. You become a servant of the mind. Mind says that is good, you say yes, yes. Mind says that is not good, you say no, no. So some way the mind is just giving you instructions and you're following it. And mind is giving you an idea of who you are, what your life is, what's the purpose of your life, and then you blindly are taking it. Mind says what you have is not enough. You say yes, yes, I want to have more. Mind will say go there, you'll get joy, you'll go there. Even though you get disappointed again and again by what the mind is telling you, and you by doing them, you continue to do that. Because the mind has such total control on your life. Now, again, through skill, this skill is yoga. This bringing the mind to the present moment is a skill of yoga. Another skill, now what I'm speaking about, is not engaging with the mind, observing them. The mind tells you something. Mind tells, let's go and drink coffee. You ask why. The mind says, oh, you'll get great joy out of it. And then you say, not really. I've drunk coffee for so many years. What joy has it? Just a minute titillation of my senses, stimulation of my senses, like tickling of my senses. It feels good, okay, but then and then afterwards I feel a bit restless. It's the mind becomes more active. It's food for the mind. Anything that increases the rajas in you is food for the mind. The mind is asking for the food. All your addictions are the food for the mind. So if you don't engage with the mind, if the mind tries to push you and then you say, stop, hold, I'm not going to engage with you, that makes the mind weak again. The mind thrives on your engagement. When you stop engaging with the mind, then the mind becomes weak and becomes lesser and lesser active. And when you are actually, you have to disengage from the mind, you have to be alert, you have to be in the present moment. So you are automatically very mindful, very alert. When this happens, what? When you don't engage with the mind and then you come back to the present moment to not engage with the mind, then transcendence happens. You transcend the mind. When you transcend the mind, you transcend time. This state is called samadhi. We experience, most of us experience this at least for a few seconds during Kriya. Suddenly, you're not aware of your body, your mind, where you are sitting, what is your name, who you are. Everything just disappears, vanishes, just like in deep sleep for a few seconds, maybe. And it happens more often and for longer durations during our hollow and empty meditation in the silence program. Those moments extremely powerful. How? Because those moments burn down a lot of your karma. The seeds of your latent karma are burned down in those moments. So a lot of things that you which you may have to experience in the future in your life, they all completely dissolve, disappear. This is such a powerful phenomenon. This happens only two ways. One, the direct grace of the Guru. Two, through your meditations. And you can have both the silence program. So that's why it is so powerful. In fact, I cannot stress to you how much powerful this is and how much important it is. In fact, it is the most important thing in your life, I would say. At least in my life, for me, that is the most important thing. Because all the burden that we carry in our life is just the burden of the impressions of the karma. Your constant engagement with the mind is constantly generating thoughts, actions, impressions, thoughts, actions, impressions, thoughts, actions, impressions. That is becoming more and more and more and more of a burden to you. That is what determines your habit patterns, your desires, the direction in which your life is going, your worries, your anxieties, everything boils down to one thing: how much impressions you are carrying in your system and how much unwanted impressions. And because of those impressions, you don't have clarity about your life at all. You don't have clarity about who am I, what am I, where am I going, what do I want in life. We don't have any clarity. We just look around what everybody is doing and we end up doing that. This brings clarity. Meditation is wiping the mirror clean so you can see clearly who you are. Right now, you can't even see yourself because there's so much dust on the mirror. It's like there is a blackboard, you have written something, and then without erasing, you write something else, then something else. You've written like this for lifetimes. So everything is jumbled up. So you just don't know what you're doing. You may be rich or poor, you may be educated or uneducated. Does not matter. People from all walks of life are in the same mess in the world. That's why people don't appear contented at all. There is no peace. People are unhappy about what they have and they're unhappy about what they don't have. Isn't this true? So, just to jump from this sort of a herd mentality of the society, you need to step out of it and spend some time in silence. That will help you. And once these impressions, you forget this technique of freeing yourself from these impressions, you feel lighter, you feel more joyful, you feel relaxed, you feel clear. There is a purpose comes to your life. A radiance comes to your aura improves. The astrological impact becomes reduced. No astrological malformations can malfunctions or whatever the malpositions can affect you that significantly. Everything becomes so much more easier. Grace starts running your life. Means things start happening effortlessly. You can't believe what is happening. The weather says it's going to be horrible weather all this week. You go on a holiday or you go somewhere and then you think, let this weather get better. The weather gets better. It is unimaginable, but you will notice this thing. You start making miracles happen all around you. You start creating luck for yourself and people around you. You become such a powerhouse of grace and support and compassion. You know, when you settle in meditation, you cannot hate anybody. Even if that person is trying to hurt you, you feel difficult to get angry at them. You feel sorry for them. You feel compassionate. This is such a phenomenon, you know. You are like a Buddha, like a Mahavira. Otherwise, see, look at people around who are not doing any spiritual practices, can push their button in a fraction of a second. And this will make you so unshakable. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and if you try to get to this state by yourself, I tell you, even 100 lifetimes, it's not possible. Gurudev has designed everything and given it to you on a plate. You just have to take it, receive it like a prasad. And if you feel that you got something more important to do than doing this, I don't think there is a bigger stupid person than you are. I'm being very blunt. There can't be a bigger stupidity than placing anything else in your life. Whether it's your family, your relationships, your money, your health, anything above the Holland meditations. It's just that you don't know what you're doing. You are just not intelligent enough to see the value of what is being offered to you. You've been given an opportunity to change your luck, change your destiny, change your life status, change the outlook of your life, change your future, and you are just letting it pass. Hmm? So, know this. Yeah, this is a very powerful technique that will unburden you of your habit patterns, of your conditionings, help you transcend the mind, help you experience that state of timelessness, and in which timelessness, a lot of negative impressions, a lot of uh, heavy impressions, deep seated impressions, or vasanas, they all get uprooted and thrown away. And your true nature reflects what is your true nature? Bliss. You are a fountain of joy, you are a fountain of compassion. You have unlimited power to serve, to help, to support. All that comes out spontaneously. I tell you, if you're not known it even now, if you're not still realized it, the greatest joy in serving everybody, greatest joy is being useful to people around you, is to making others happy, is to taking them, holding their hands and taking them forwards. And that comes to you. Okay. Jai Guru.